So recently you guys have seen a lot of My Hero on the channel. Season 5 is out right now. We've been doing a lot of My Hero debates and videos and things of that nature, but there comes a time when we have to address the blasphemy that goes on in the My Hero Academia community. CBR recently dropped an article that you guys sent me talking about the 10 characters who can beat every member of the Akatsuki. I'm not sure what we're going to end up reading. I'm just going to be flat out honest with you. I don't know what names they're going to come up with for people that can solo the Akatsuki out of the My Hero Academia universe. But what I will say is, let's break down the Akatsuki at least one time before we start this. You have Zetsu, Kakazu, Deidara, Kisame, Konan, Pain, Itachi, Sasori, Hidan, and Obito. I don't know what we're gonna end up reading out of these 10 characters, but if I don't see All for One or All Might on this list, I'm gonna blow a gasket. Let's begin. At number 10, they have Hitoshi Shinzo soloing all of the Akatsuki. Honestly, y'all, listen, I'm not even going to acknowledge how disrespectful this is, because it would take all day. I mean, this is somebody from Class 1C that was competing for a slot on the 1B or 1A roster. Wasn't even on that level yet, but has a powerful quirk. Had to train with eraserhead with the binding cloth. That's all fantastic. If I throw in somebody that can deal with Hitoshi Shinzo, it is good luck. First of all, we know that Hitoshi Shinzo can brainwash somebody if he's able to talk to them and they talk back. Well, here's the thing. Hitoshi Shinzo would actually be having a conversation with Itachi, not even realizing that he's under Itachi's genjutsu, and Itachi is just sitting there watching him talk to himself. We know what type of time the Akatsuki are on. If you're talking about Sharingan users, if you're talking about somebody like Obito that has the Kamui, if you're talking about people that can literally make water prisons all around this surrounding area. What is Hitoshi Shinzo going to do against that? He is a student in UA, for crying out loud. You're not even starting off the list with a pro hero, which is blasphemy. Let's move on. At number 9, they have Eraserhead actually going through and soloing all of the Akatsuki members. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I mean, listen, the first thing I thought of was, hey, maybe they're trying to balance out the verses with the powers. Maybe they would say that Eraserhead's ability to stop quirk activation would actually work against chakra users to maybe balance out the verses. I don't know. But let's see what they had to say. Eraserhead's quirk allows him to temporarily halt his enemy's quirks. This power would be ineffective on the quirkless Akatsuki members. Eraserhead would have to default to his fighting style to defeat his enemy. So let me get this straight. You guys are not even going to factor in the handicap that Eraserhead would be able to maybe stop the chakra from the Akatsuki? You're not even acknowledging that. You're saying, you know what, that wouldn't even count. So what is Eraserhead gonna do? Use the binding cloth against the Akatsuki? There's no way the person that wrote this article has seen even episode 1 of Naruto. They have not seen anything. First of all, Eraserhead does not have any answers to any of the top tier genjutsu coming from the Akatsuki members. I don't even believe he has an answer for somebody like Konan with the paper bombs. He doesn't even have an answer for Sasori with the poison puppets going around crazy. If you're taking away his ability to stop abilities, at that point, he's a man with a binding cloth. That's food for all of the Akatsuki members. Maybe he can catch somebody like Hidan off guard, but that's about it. We're moving on. At number 8, we have Nejire from UA going into the Akatsuki and just killing everybody. This is what CBR thinks Nejire can do. Now, let me say one thing about Nejire. I really like her quirk abilities with the shockwave, using her stamina for that. It's really cool. It kind of brings me back to the DBZ days with the ki blast going crazy everywhere, but that's great. We have to also factor in that she's also a student. Yes, she is in the big 3, she's in the top of UA, but she is a student. What is she going to do against world-class shinobi? If I bring somebody like Obito into this mix with the Kamui, please CBR, My Hero community, please somebody tell me what Nejire is doing against a Kamui. Tell me what Nejire is doing against Itachi's Susanoo with the Yatsumir, with the Tosca blade. Tell me what Nejire is doing against Deidara's C4 bombs. Let me know. Bombs that can explode your body at a molecular level. I have not seen any feats from Nejire that can hang with anybody. We're moving on. At number 7, we have Stain going through the Akatsuki and putting in some work. Now, let me say this. Stain's ability to paralyze people off of tasting their blood is something very similar to what hidan can do. It's something that is in that same sphere, it's in that same realm, so I do believe that Stain could maybe catch some of the Akatsuki members off guard, and I'm talking about the lower tier. I'm not going to go into the Uchiha members, I'm not going to even mention what Nagato can do to Stain because it would be disgusting how badly he would get bodied. But if we're talking about somebody like Hidan, maybe even a Sasori, maybe even Konan, for example, even though I believe Konan's a beast, Stain can also move pretty fast, and if he's able to paralyze some of these top tier shinobi, he may be able to get the job done on at least the lower side of the Akatsuki. Again, if we're talking about the top tier members, this is way too disrespectful to even put them in the same paragraph, let alone the same video that I'm doing right now. So Stain, he's not doing it. He may get 1 or 2 though. Let's move on. At number 6, we have Night going into the Akatsuki. I don't understand where CBR is coming with this. You know, the title of this section says Sir Night-Eye's predictions could allow him to see what's coming next. What? His demise? His death? What do you mean he's going to see what's coming next? He has nothing to see what's coming next because by that time he already be clapped. We already saw what Night-Eye could do against the likes of Overhaul, who I believe can't even solo the Akatsuki on his own. So why would Sir Night-Eye, who is literal food for Overhaul, going to be able to defeat the Akatsuki? How is he going to be able to defeat the Akatsuki? I don't understand it. I don't get it. This is somebody that Overhaul put on life support, y'all. Mirio Togata was putting in more work. How in the hell is Sir Night-Eye in here? He can see into the future, but he can also see his death. So that's all I really need to say. As long as there are people like Nagato and Itachi walking around in the Akatsuki, Night-Eye is done. Let's move on. At number 5, we have Shoto Todoroki going into the Akatsuki and putting in work. Now listen, you already know I am Team Todoroki, but I am not Team Todoroki right now. I'm switching up real quick if it comes to an Akatsuki matchup. Come on now, we're not doing that. Listen, I love the fire. I love the ice. I love that Todoroki does not have to worry about overheating. This was literally what he was made to do. He has incredible fire that was able to almost melt Tetsu. So we know how hot it is. The Akatsuki members may have a problem dealing with some of the heat, but I'm only speaking on the lower end, because if we start going into the Rinnegan users, or the Sharingan users, or if we even start talking about people like Kisame, who can literally box against Jinchuriki fighters and hold his own. Shoto Todoroki is not even built to hang with anybody. The only thing I can see Todoroki doing is maybe freezing a hidan, or maybe freezing or melting Sasori's puppets or something like that. But that's about it. I don't see Todoroki hanging with Konan. I don't see Todoroki hanging with Deidara. It's just way too much. It's way beyond his power level right now in My Hero. Let's move on. This one's a weird one. I mean, at number 4, they have Mount Lady coming through embodying the Akatsuki. Look, have we even seen that many feats from Mount Lady? Have I seen anything crazy going on from her? Honestly, the only fact that CBR brings up is that she's a giant, and they want to say that the Akatsuki have never dealt with anything like this before? Are you kidding me? The Akatsuki organization, after Yahiko passed, was changed into a literal Jinchuriki hunting organization. That's what they did. They hunted down all of the tail beast carriers, and we know that when they are in their tail beast forms, they also become giants, and they also end up putting in way more work than I've seen from Mount Lady. So how is she in this conversation? I have no idea. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think the CBR writer just put in a random name generated from the My Hero Academia site and said, you know what, let's go with this, because that's the only reason I can see them bringing in Mount Lady. This is ridiculous. Let's move on to the next one. At number 3, they have Gran Torino going in embodying the Akatsuki. Now, Gran Torino, we know he's obviously a top tier fighter in My Hero, but he's way past his prime, yo. The man's like 80. What is he going to do against the Akatsuki members? fresh young blood ready to go at all times. How is he going to keep up with them? He's clearly past his prime. He's clearly, and even if he was in his prime, I still don't see him doing what CBR claims he can do and what he's capable of. I mean, yes, he taught Deku how to manage some of the percentage of full cowling, whatever. That's fantastic. We all love that, but he's going to need to really be in his prime to at least have a fighting chance against somebody like Nagato, who has the diva path, who has the human path, who can literally go all out, go crazy, break down a Shinra Tensei on the earth. What is Gran Torino going to do at 80 years old against this? You tell me. Let's move on. Now we're talking. At number 2, we have Endeavor going into the Akatsuki hideout and going crazy. So the first thing I want to mention here is that Endeavor's heat is ridiculous, but he has to worry about overheating. Unlike Todoroki, he really has to worry about overheating, and I think that the Akatsuki members can expose that. Now, when it comes to his heat, it's going to be tough for some of the Akatsuki members to really get inside. They're going to have to fight from far away. That's going to be a problem, not for somebody like Sasori, but somebody like Hidan. That's food. For somebody like Zetsu, at least in the earlier stages, that's food. For somebody like Kisame, they may be able to get that job done. Even though the heat is so overbearing, it can literally melt metal. This is a power that I believe the Akatsuki members on a grand scale can deal with, because they've dealt with characters way stronger than Endeavor before. At least some of them. And when I speak on the Sharingan users or the Rinnegan users in the Akatsuki, I believe Endeavor has no answer for them. I don't care, you can prominence burn, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as I have a Kamui, or I have a Susanoo, or I have the 6 paths. Good luck, Endeavor. We're moving on to the last person they had. And at number 1, who else did we expect? We have All Might going into the Akatsuki and doing what he does best. Taking L's. He's not beating the Akatsuki. Now again, I believe his one for all quirk is fantastic. And let's give CBR a little bit of credit here, because they mentioned All Might's prime. Prime All Might, of course, he can put in a lot of work. If the Akatsuki members get hit by United States of Smash, I can't speak on a lot of them getting up. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of them are gonna have an issue dealing with that ability. But again, how is he going to get that ability off on somebody that has a Susanoo or somebody that has a Kamui? How is he going to get that off on somebody that can literally disintegrate their body at a molecular level like Deidara? Now, I believe that All Might's speed is definitely ridiculous, because if we start speaking on the fastest characters that are coming into the Akatsuki, they're going to have a problem keeping up with All Might's speed. But he can't deal with any of the genjutsu abilities. He can't deal with any of the top tier ninjutsu abilities that I just spoke of. So again, it really comes down to his brute strength. And I think All Might would need way more than brute strength to solo the Akatsuki. He can get through some of them. I'm going to give him something. He can get through some of them. Maybe 4 members. But that's about it. I'm not giving him any more. Itachi, no shot. Obito, no shot. Pain, no shot. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below. Do you believe that there are any members in the My Hero verse that can solo the Akatsuki? Because I can't think of one. I'm sorry, I cannot think of one. And that's not me saying the My Hero universe is weak. That's me just acknowledging that the Akatsuki deserve a lot more respect, and I believe that the My Hero verse needs a little bit more abilities. Maybe if you mentioned All for One with the 7 different quirks that he has or something, maybe you can make a case, but right now it's too much. It's too much. Again, I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel always. There's a ton of videos coming. I'm seeing all the requests. I'm trying to get to them as fast as I can. Just stay tuned. With that, see you next time. Peace.